So it's 2 a.m. You've watched loads of episodes and you're like, oh my God, I've got to be up at 6 a.m. I'm only going to get 4 hours sleep. Oh my God. How many times have you done that? Because I want you to know that just one more episode, or the reason why you're binge watching, is because your inner child is in control. And what I'd love to do is talk you through why, but also give you the solution and the exact words that you can use with your inner child to really transform your life and get you out of the binge watching culture. So, first off, binge watching isn't laziness. It's not a problem of you not being able to, stop yourself, so to speak. It's because you've got a disassociated nervous system. And what happens is when you are like, oh, just one more episode, that's because they leave lots of these episodes deliberately on cliffhangers so that you feel that slight amount of abandonment. And then what you do is you press next because you're creating a small reunion which actually stabilizes your inner child inside. So when you are watch next, or it's going to click next in 10 seconds, your inner child at that moment is going, oh my God, don't leave me on a cliffhanger. Oh, and do you feel that? So I want you to become aware that when you are fast forwarding and clicking to the next episode, the next time you do that, let's really start to tune into the body. How is the body feeling when that series is about to, finish? So many people were like, oh my God, I can't believe they left it hanging that way in Stranger Things. Yes, what happened was you felt that massive amount of abandonment. And then what happens, and you do the, and everyone does this, you will rewatch everything before there is a whole new series come out. How many of you rewatch Stranger Things, or you've done that knowing there's a new series? Again, when you're doing that, that is your inner child in complete control and going, yeah, but I've got to rewatch it all so it's all fresh in my mind. And it's your inner child that is going, press next, press next, press next. And your inner child does that because it wants to have no responsibilities and no demands, and they just want to escape. And you will be that binge watcher because you would have grown up in chaos. There would have been some form of trauma when you were a child, or there was a lack of regulation, or there was too many rules. And what is happening is even when you're phone scrolling at 2 o'clock in the morning, that's your inner child in control going, well, no one can tell me what to do. And think about that. The next time you're doing that, there's nobody to tell me what to do. So, what do we do instead of pressing that next episode? What we do is we actually become incredibly aware. I've always said there are 3 steps to healing. So, the first step is have the awareness. So, the next time that you are clicking next on an episode, know you saw this video from someone called Kel, who is a reparenting coach, and that you have that awareness. And if you still do it, that's okay. But step 1, have that awareness. Step 2, catch yourself. So the next time you press it, rather than pressing dirt or letting Netflix play or Prime or whatever, press pause or even turn the TV off before you continue onwards. That's step 2. Step 3 is choose something different. So that's where you can go, okay, I'm not going to watch any more. I'm going to take responsibility for myself. And what you can do with step 3 is something called reparenting. And I'm going to show you an exact dialogue now that I have had with my own inner child when it came to binge watching and my issues and problems. So my inner child is 4, and to her, I am her daddy. And for any of you who've never done inner child work before, okay, I want you to know one of the most important things when you start working with your inner child is that you tell them your name and your age, because your inner child has no idea how old you are and they don't actually know they live inside of you. And I want you to know, even if you've never met your inner child, simply saying these things will really, really help you. Hey, LK, it's Daddy. Are you there? Yeah, Daddy. Hi, LK. I would really love to just talk to you about why we stay up sometimes really late and we watch episode after episode after episode. And what's happening is Daddy is feeling very tired when Daddy gets up in the morning because we're not able to turn the TV off and we're watching just that next episode and that next episode. And I want you to know, LK, that I really want to help you because Daddy needs more sleep. But I know that that's you that is causing Daddy to do that. Does that make sense to you, baby girl? But it's a good thing, Daddy. I know, LK, that you think it's a good thing. Yeah, but just one more episode. Okay, okay. I know when you want to do just one more episode with me. I know that that's because you have that curiosity, and I know that you really just want to watch one more episode, right? Well, yeah, because I want to know what's going on. And by the way, the baby voice, that's how my inner child sounds in my head, just so you know. Okay. Okay, so I understand that you want to do that. However, what I'd love to say is we can actually do that over a period of time. And if we go to bed earlier, you're going to feel a lot better inside of Daddy because you're not going to be tired. You're not going to be miserable. You're not going to be whiny because what happens when we've got a whiny LK? I'm not very good, Daddy. I'm really not very good. And I whine and I whinge a lot. And I know I do that. And LK, we know that you can be quite whiny, right? Yeah, Daddy. Okay, so what I want to say is, how about we just do 2 episodes? How does that sound? That if we watch 2 episodes of our favourite show and then we say that's enough? Because what that's doing is that's allowing you to watch one episode, know there's another one coming, but that Daddy's given you a boundary of saying just two. No, but I like 4 or 5. And what I'm showing you there is that's the bit where you're going to have to really parent, okay? Okay, it's Daddy. I know that you like 4 or 5 episodes, but sweetheart, we have other things that we need to do, and I'm your parent, okay? And I know when you were younger, you used to be able to watch whatever it was that you wanted when Mum would have gone away for the weekend and left you. Yeah, 'cause I could do whatever I wanted 'cause the house was mine. I know, LK. But as your daddy, what is important is that we actually have boundaries and we have responsibility. And my job is to say, no, LK, you're only having 2 episodes, but I've set the expectation of 2. So can you work with Daddy on that? Okay, right. And what I will do as a reward is I will let you know that we can watch 2 the next night or 2 the next night. And plus, LK, Daddy wants to give you this. It means that you will be able to watch that series longer, knowing that it's not all going to be over really, really quickly. And plus, Daddy won't be tired. And then Daddy won't be annoyed. How does that sound? Hmm, that sounds okay, really. So, just to clarify, I get 2 episodes tonight, 2 episodes tomorrow, and 2 episodes on Thursday, yeah? Yes, okay. If that's what you want, or we could watch one episode and then we could go and watch something else, or Daddy could read Daddy's book. Okay. Does that sound okay if Daddy is the one that is saying that that is the boundary and we're going to just do 2 episodes? Okay. And how does that feel, LK? Does that feel good that Daddy is setting a boundary and saying no? Because I know, baby girl, I know that you are tired, and I know my responsibility as your daddy is to really take care of you, yeah? Yeah, Daddy. Okay, cool. Well, I want you to know that, LK, Daddy loves you so, so much, and I'm so proud of you, and thank you so much for talking to me, because I want you to know we're going to watch 2 episodes, and then we're going to go to bed at 10:30, and that means we can wake up with our first light dog, Meg, at 5:30, because it's summertime here in the United Kingdom, and Meg is always up as soon as it's light. That okay, LK? Yeah, okay, Daddy. Good. Thank you, baby girl. Right, so that's just a full dialogue of kind of an example of what I have said to my inner child in the past. I want to just add here that I've had to do that quite a few times, okay? Because I used to have a massive binge watching issue. I've watched series and series of stuff, etc., just like you. But your inner child, the biggest thing they want is consistency and safety, and that's your responsibility. And when you are consistently reinforcing those boundaries with your inner child, you're learning the parenting, you're learning to reparent. And reparenting in action is when you are actually being the person that is using the 1, 2, 3 approach, and you're actually going, no, okay, I'm going to stop you. So here's an example of what you would say when it comes to actually being that person to put that boundary in and you've watched those 2 episodes. Okay, it's Daddy. Are you there? Yeah, Daddy? Okay, we've done 2 episodes now. And remember, I had that conversation with you this morning where I said we'd only watch 2 episodes and we go to bed? Yeah, but I just want one more. Okay, I know, but Daddy here is saying just 2 episodes, so I've turned the TV off now, baby girl, okay, because it's time for bed, and you know that Meg gets us up really early, doesn't she? Yeah, but we could do one more episode. Okay, but what I want to say is really important, LK, is actually we just done those 2 episodes. I've kept my promise. Now you need to keep your promise, okay? Okay, Daddy. Right, thank you, LK. I really appreciate that. And just so you know, I'm promising we can do 2 more episodes tomorrow. Really? Yes, LK. We can do 2 more episodes tomorrow if that's what you want. Okay? Okay, Daddy. I love you, LK. Love you tools. Okay, and then that's an example of how I would put that boundary and I would reaffirm that boundary. And of course, obviously, that's just an example I've given you just here, and like I said, the whole baby voice, my inner child sounds like that in my head. She sounds really soft, really tender, and really nurturing. And I've made this video because I want you to say, I want you to know that that's how we reparent in the moment. And that's the bit that's going to change your life is the whole reparenting. Anyway, I've got a ton of videos just up here all around how you can work with your inner child and parts, etc. And I really hope you've taken a lot from this. And please just let me know and just comment here. What was the best bit? What was the bit that really went, oh, do you know what? Cheers, Kel. Thanks ever so much for that video. It's really helped. Anyway, I hope this helps you. And like I say, ton more videos up there for you to watch. Cheers, take care. Ta-da. Bye-bye.